This is Carrie O'Donnell, Tarot Soul Writer, and I am here with Helen Irish Granny. Welcome, Helen. Again, it's been such a long time since you've been here visiting.
Thanks, Carrie. You know, I always love it when we get together because it's really rewarding to have an informed conversation about some of this stuff.
And we have so much to talk about.
Oh my God, I'm exhausted.
And I just wanted to say hello to Lauren and Nat. Nat, thanks for being the first one here to hold control of the crowd. We really appreciate it. TW4353, hello. Anyone else who may be watching tonight, we are going to discuss some of the current events that have come up for us that we're concerned about. But please, if you have something you wanted to add to the conversation, if you want to add sub-questions or even other topics you'd like us to look into, please put it in the chat, all caps, so that I can see it and star it. We can come back to it. And I appreciate your point of view. That said, Helen, what the heck's going on out there?
Well, it's the cyclical historical reappearance of authoritarian and theocratic control. This is what that looks like. And, you know, a couple of years ago, these sorts of things, we predicted them, and people thought it was so exaggerated and completely unimaginable. The United States is not unique. We're just another bunch of people in just maybe a slightly different geographical location and time period, but people are people, and our behaviors are predictable. And this is what happens when the people in charge fear they're losing control, or they get a lust for, you can never have enough power. You can never have enough money, right? And if you throw in a little bit of religious zealotry into that, and you start dealing with psychopaths who are eugenicists and narcissists who care nothing for other people, I mean, it's a really toxic stew. And they always seem to rise to the top. But, you know, I always have such a cheery view on everything. That's because I've been studying it. I've been reading about it for decades. Yeah.
It's hard to stay positive all the time. I know people will get on me sometimes. They'll be like, I just got a comment, I think, on my 2026 predictions. Like, I couldn't even finish your video. Like, if you have nothing positive to say, why don't you keep your opinions to yourself or something
that
like
must have been the same person who talked to me. And, you know, I understand. Don't you?
I get it. I do get it. But here's what I don't get. Like, I wish I had made a copy of it, because it was on Blue Sky, and this guy goes, you know, this isn't 1968 where you had 3 channels and, you know, you were stuck watching 3 things. This is social media where there's so many different channels, so many different people, so many different voices. Don't tell me what to do, what to change, or what to say. Just kind of move on to the thing that you need, you know. And I get it. If it's not, this is not a good time. This is not good stuff. And maybe I'm bringing out things because I don't want to just say, hey, and by the way, you know, so-and-so is going to get a new puppy. And, you know, that's not going to help you.
Taylor Swift's getting married.
Yeah. Like, you need to know.
It's not going to last.
There you go.
You know, here's my take on it. This is all really difficult. This is a difficult time in human experience. Yes, we're human too. Do you think it's fun to carry this crap around with you? I mean, I have known this was coming for a very, very, very long time, decades, you know, and it has intensified, and nobody believed it. And that is a double whammy, right?
Right.
This is no fun for us. And you know that old saying, don't kill the messenger?
Right.
You know, Cassandra was given the gift of sight, and then she was punished and given the punishment that nobody would believe what she said.
Exactly.
It's a unique
That's human nature. It's a metaphor for human nature, you know, and that's like what we're experiencing now. I'm hoping, this is my theory, and I just hope to God that I'm correct, that maybe we can see these things, or we have that intuition because maybe the things we can see are things that possibly could be changed, possibly. Why else would we get the message? Because I know for a fact there are some things I don't get the message for. I had not gotten anything on the big C word that came in 2020. Didn't get a message.
Oh, I had to think about that a minute.
I know I shouldn't say the C word. That's like not good. Probably other people are like, Carrie, what are you talking about right there?
I know. Are you okay?
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was not on my radar. And I think that there were some things that they might have been fated in a certain way, or I couldn't control, or I had to experience. And so we might not be attuned to things. So I'm hoping that the things we are seeing, there's a reason, like maybe we could collectively rise to an occasion. Maybe there's some hope for that. I'm only holding on to that because otherwise I'd go nuts, right? Because why am I seeing these things? Or why am I getting these messages? There's got to be a reason.
Well, okay. So
I know you're going to be the Debbie Downer. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah,
Ellen.
yeah. Starting at the beginning, people who tend to have a little bit more sight because everybody has it, people for whom it's more acute, often, not always, often have coming from trauma in early childhood. It can be a devastating illness, an accident, familial stuff, but there's something about being forced at a very young age to face harsh realities that are inevitable in life that kind of changes your vibration and tunes you into the many possibilities that those things will happen. And it's kind of a spiritual view of the world. I don't think we're here to be happy. People say, what do you want? What is your goal in life? Oh, I want to be happy. Well, that's nice, but that's the gravy. We're not here to be happy. We're here to evolve. We're here to grow. And sometimes it's going to be good and sometimes it's going to be not so good. But it's like, this is ironic, me using this metaphor. It's like lifting weights, like exercising muscles. You have to go through the pain and challenge them to have them develop. And our souls are the same. So I'm not happy about this. This is not how I intended to spend my golden years,
Right.
But here we are, and there's a reason why each of us is here at this time and in this place.
I was just looking at Innocent here. I have German, Swiss, American ancestry. I could see this lean to the right many, many, many years ago. Everyone said I was crazy. Retired teacher, not a history teacher, but I've always been part two. I've always been a history nerd.
Innocent Potato. First, love the name.
Yeah.
I know this sounds like shameless self-promotion, but check out my channel. I've got 3 videos coming up in the next few days that I've been recording that tie back to the 30s in that part of the world. That is so glaringly obvious. I'm not dismissing your insightfulness. I'm saying, why does nobody else see it? This is really bad, and it's a repeat of history. Yeah.
It's a repeat of history.
Mm-hmm.
This one, my great uncle died on the beach.
Anzio, yeah.
Yeah, staff sergeant in the U.S. Army. Yeah, and Vietnam, of course. So yeah, there's a lot going on in the world, and I was hoping that we could begin to start looking at maybe the international stuff. I know I had just started a question, and it was one of the things that we wanted to talk about. Julie said, what will happen with Greenland and how will Canada do in response? And we were talking backstage that I said I wanted to look at Greenland and, are we going to do this or not? What's the outcome? But also you were concerned about Canada too. So just looking at what's going on with them and how would their reaction be and such. I mean, that might be a good place to start. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, it's perfect. Right. So Trump offered all the citizens of Greenland $100,000 each to give him Greenland.
Yeah,
I'm not making this up. I mean,
no, it's real.
Latest gambit.
Yeah, which just it cracks me up. Like 100,000. What am I going to do with 100,000?
Well, it's like if they came to my hometown and offered me 100,000 for them to take my town. Okay. like I have any say in the matter. You know what I mean?
But like, to me though, where they are, they get like healthcare and all the things, and they're living in a peaceful community. So what? For the privilege of becoming part of this hellhole? Like,
This
what?
insanity. Well, the leaders, I don't know specifically who, but some of the top leaders of Denmark and Greenland got together and they said, our country is not for sale. Thank you very much. It's not a commodity.
Yeah.
It's just, it would be funny if it weren't so awful. The thing that I heard that made me really sad was that there's a growing mental health crisis amongst children in Greenland who are freaking out because of this. The fear.
And I can understand that.
Shame on us.
Yeah.
It's a great evil to do that to children. Great evil.
We're not exactly kind to our own children here. So
Have you been talking to my kids again?
I know. Well, let's start with just the Greenland issue with the United States. I mean, we know the threats. I have looked into this before, and I know you have. I mean, up to now, I feel like they are going to do something. But I keep getting, and I don't know what I'm going to get tonight, because I feel like things have been changing like the wind. I feel like we're just in that frame. I get them fighting back in some way. And I know they're already posting ways they would fight back.
Very interesting ways, yeah.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with war in a traditional sense, but things that could really collapse us in ways people really don't understand. So I'd like to see what the cards are saying, like what the outcome would be like right now. Like, where's the energy going right now with Greenland and the United States? And,
Well, there may be some great Nostradamus who's going to sit down and tell you, on the 3rd of July, 2027, this will happen. Okay, that's not how I operate. I read the energy of a situation. And this is a very fluid situation. Why? Because the guy making the decisions ultimately is,
Right. And I feel like that's where I'm at a point now where, like, I just did a video or I was about to do a video with something that took me a long time in meditation to do. And now I don't want to do the video anymore because I feel like so many things have happened. It almost seems not relevant anymore. Like, I can't actually produce my videos fast enough to be relevant the way the energy is moving right now.
This morning, Nate and I did current events. 2 days ago, we send each other a list, and oftentimes it's the same list. We send each other a list. And I had, for international current events, one of the things I picked was Iran. And when I researched it at the moment, it was 62 people dead. And I will talk about that, when we get to it, but because talk about your fluid events. Okay, so the question is, what's going to happen with Greenland?
Yeah. Coming up here with the United States. And are we going to try to take it? How are we going to try to take it? Is he going to be successful? Like, what are we seeing here? In the general, we can ask the specific questions.
Where is my...
Oh, I feel like I need a clarifier here for the ending. Are you getting a clear answer? Because I feel like I'm getting an answer that I'm going to interpret it, but it's not a very clear yes or no, black and white kind of answer.
Well, I'm not getting this is the event that's going to get it happen. What I get is this is the story as it unfolds, and these are the reactions.
Yeah, I'm kind
of wait and see. It's very weird, but
it's very wait. It's so funny because the card at the end actually can mean wait and see. That I'm going to show you can actually mean that. According to the book Tarot Reversals, which is one of my favorite books, it actually can mean wait and see. So I think that's so funny. Oh, wow. I got the same card in 2 different decks.
I love when that happens. Nate and I often will get the same cards. Or we'll get cards. There are enough cards in the tarot that a little bit overlap in meaning.
Mhm.
So, you can get how, like, the Two of Cups and the Two of Swords. Well, you
Right.
got a choice no matter how you look at it, Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you
So
want
do
to
you-
start, or do you want me to go?
I'll go. It's okay.
Okay.
So I get Poor Judgment. I don't have enough fingers
yeah.
to hide all the flesh. Poor Judgment. And this is a karmic thing. And this is it has to do with more than just the US and Greenland. This
Mhm.
is completely global. And I'll tell you what I think this card represents. There's much open talk that Putin, Trump, and Xi have divvied up the globe. And
Right.
Greenland belongs to us, according to that division.
Exactly.
So, and Europe will be a separate thing for Putin. So there's a lot of apprehension, and
Mhm.
it's part of that intention, right? Then I thought, like you said, kind of wait and
Yeah.
Four of Swords, that withdrawal and waiting. I think there's this sense of bated breath, and now they have actually made an intuitive plan. They have a plan of action, and it's clever and it's intuitive. They've gotten together with NATO.
Yeah.
Canada, Greenland, Europe, they have conspired, and they have a response. And they told Trump earlier this week, maybe today, I don't know. They told Trump, "You do that, and we're shutting down your bases everywhere." Yeah. And so the thing is, if he does that, he breaks the NATO alliance.
That's
that
right.
fifth thing, and then he doesn't need to abide by NATO, because just by his actions, he's broken that association. Biggest mistake of his life.
Mhm. Oh, it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did Lenormand cards.
Mhm.
So we get this announcement from him that is just, the devil, snaky, the bad, deceptive, sly,
Mhm.
underhanded nonsense, and about the US going into a foreign country.
Mhm.
And there is, thank God, there are wiser and more careful, thoughtful elements at play here, who are measured and aren't going to be reacting from, where's my insanity card? I don't have it right here. Oh, and at the bottom of the deck, just for spice, the Seven of Swords.
Oh yeah.
All those barred will do anything. Nothing is out of consideration.
I'm getting something similar, but maybe a little bit of hope for, Greenland, that this is going to not turn out the way he wants it to. The card that I keep getting is the Death card. I got the Grim Reaper and the Death card. And since this started my reading, I think, and it's a clarifier at the end, but I do feel like I'm getting more an ending. Like there's I think he wants to end the NATO thing. Like this is his intentions. This is what's underneath the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you, because it begins and ends with the Reaper. I feel like this is an ending no matter what happens, that there's something with Greenland and the United States that will never be the same. Now, I'm not saying we won't have a base there or whatever, but there's something changed. There's something that's transitioned that's going to
when you break trust.
Yeah. It's like it's not going to be like it was. Obviously, this is all about money. This is resources. And it's funny because this is, it's the seven. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. That garden, usually the gardening image, but I have it reversed. So I feel like it's coming out of the ground. So like that's what they want to do. They're going for things under the ground. Then I have, we're not celebrating, the Three of Cups. Which is funny. You had the Three of Swords. You had just talked about the Two of Cups and the Two of Swords.
Well, I got the Three of Pentacles reversed. That complete breakdown in cooperation.
Interesting. And I'm getting like this lack of, it's just, we're not celebrating this moment. Whatever they're trying or whatever they're doing, it's not a success. I did get the Ten of Wands reversed. That's my wait and see card. That's in reversal. It could be like, we've got some burdens released. I think here. So I do feel, I always feel like there's a line they're not going to cross, or like wiser people prevail, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting.
Well, that's
But
what this is.
and
That's
it's
what
like,
this is.
yeah, and it's like relax. But this makes me feel like it's temporary, kind of like something happens to, like, this is suspension or wait and see.
Watchful
Sometimes,
waiting.
like
Yeah.
what? And it's kind of like relax, lounge chair, but it's not over. It's not over because the Reaper's here, and so is this. Whoops, I'm dropping cards, and so is the circus. The circus is drama, so it's like, I don't know how to say it. Like, I feel like drama will continue, but there is something on pause, on hiatus. They're not saying that we'll never go in, but there's something that happens that says, all right, we're going to wait to do something huge. Maybe this is because of what's going on, their response, or there are wiser people are saying, hey, you got to really think about this. Or maybe they're just going to focus in another area, which we could.
Well, bread and circuses, that reminds me of. But you know, you have overlapping goals. You've got that pathological thing that's going on with him, that who even knows what that is, right? But there's also that impulse for that imperial colonial impulse, you know, that this is our chunk of the planet, and so pursuing that. And that's not just driven by resources, that's driven also by theocracy. It's a theocratic urge because they're dominionists. They believe that they've been given from the Garden of Eden, you know, and this is all yours to be in charge. And so it's the white man's burden.
Right. White man's burden.
Manifest destiny. Yeah.
So I'm going to pick up the card that I dropped on the floor. So.
Oh, do you think that's important? It's presenting itself?
No, I think it's just the same card that I was showing, the 10 of Wands, and it just went flying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm like, well, if I'm going to like do some more tarot cards, I think this is the only deck I have out. So that's what we're getting with Greenland. You want to look at Canada though in all of that?
Yeah, I've been spending a lot of time reading about Canada and talking, you know, with Canadians, and this is really sad. This is like a long-term marriage that breaks up or something because one of them loses his mind and cheats, you know, and the other partner is sort of gobsmacked and feels really betrayed and really sad and then angry. It's the stages of grief, you know, the denial and the, you know, and there's just a lot of anger, and it's kind of freeform. It's kind of coming at all of us. And I don't blame Canadians for that. How would you like to be living next door to the crack house of the universe? You know, it's really scary.
It's tough for me too, because I have more of a connection since I was a child with Canadian citizens. I mean, when I was a kid, we used to cross the border all the time, you know, to party basically. And I had friends who went to school on the border. And because back then the drinking age was 21 in the US, but it was 18 in Canada. So, but it was like, it's just like going across the border was no big deal.
That's right.
When I was younger, it was just a thing, and you made a lot of friends, and it just seemed like an extension of home. And I'm sure they feel the same way, possibly on the southern border, the ones that aren't prejudiced, but have sort of a similar relationship with the people in Mexico. It's like the border communities. Yeah.
I grew up in Southern California, and although I didn't live I probably was 4 to 6 hours from the border. My college was about 3 or 4 hours from the border. We would go to Mexico on field trips. You know, we went to look at polychaete worms in the mudflats. I mean, how can you beat that? You know, but there was a lot of give and take, a lot of back and forth. People would go to party in Ensenada or Tijuana all the time.
I mean, that's what it was known for. I just wanted to show this because Innocent Potato again. I didn't even realize it was you, Innocent Potato. I just saw your comment real fast. But she's always talking about that. We will take America without firing a shot. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the truth here. So let's look at Canada. Don't forget Canada is also moving on. Yeah. So how should we phrase the question?
Well, Canada has already reached out to Europe, and new allegiances have been made, and our tough luck, unfortunately.
So
it's like when you're the only normal family member in a really dysfunctional family, you kind of get grouped together with them anyway. What can you do,
Exactly. I was going to say, we could phrase the question like, what are Canada-US relations coming up? Do we see this? Like, what are the cards saying about whether this is getting better or deteriorating? That might give us the events that might be happening.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
US relations.
I'm curious, is it innocent potato? Did I get that right?
I think it was
I'm curious if you get as many insults about being a baby boomer as I do, and it's not fair. We're not all the same.
Yeah.
I feel very misunderstood.
I want to all right, I know we're about to ask this question, but I have to get on a bandwagon on this one because I am tired of the whole bashing other generations. Just as baby boomers are saying, stop blaming me for everything. I was actually, I saw a lot of young people rising up, and I was just like, there's like some sort of generational energy that I keep feeling that's shifting, that feels younger to me. And I got so much kickback from older people trashing younger people. And enough, everybody.
No.
Just enough. Like, stop putting down other generations. Just like a lot of boomers are like, don't pick on us. Like, we're not all the same. Well, guess what? Some of the other generations aren't all the same. Just because you had an experience at Starbucks where someone couldn't give you the right coffee doesn't mean the whole generation is.
Just because one of them can't add doesn't mean all of them can't add.
That's
okay.
Right.
It's like racism.
Yeah.
It's painting a whole generation based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just feel like I'm with you on that, and we're not all the same, but there are generational patterns we can look at. There really are energetic patterns.
Oh, you're born into the same energy. You share the same sort of karmic destiny. Yeah.
But there are good and bad and ignorant and educated, and it depends on what country you were born in, what socioeconomic opportunities you were born into, that will determine your role in that generation.
It depends on your choices. We have free will. We all started out as hippies, and some of them decided to go all corporate. That's not all of us.
Have a lot of good we've done. It takes a village to work together for the people. It does.
Yes, Sandy, you're absolutely right.
Absolutely right. Yeah. All right. So now we're off our soapbox, but we'll go back to.
No, I'll just sort of stay on it. Canada.
So we'll go back to the Canadian question.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah. I think it was off of this one, but yeah, I just wanted to ask about Canada-US relations.
Oh dear.
It's bad.
I think so. I mean, the narrative that I get from it is nothing that we don't already know, but it's bad because it's sad.
Yeah. I do get something hopeful at the end. If you want to go, you can. I'm just going to pull a card.
Okay. Look at that. First, I get the 10 of Cups, and there's this big, self-satisfied, smug country right beneath you at your southern border, Canada. We've got everything, the greatest country in the world, blah, 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 bloviating all over the place. And you guys just watch this and think, this guy, someday, reality is going to smack them in the face. Well, Here we go. All of a sudden, we've got the 5 of Pentacles, the issues at hand, the suffering and the deterioration that we're facing right now. And Canada is like, we're out. We don't want any part of this.
Mm-hmm.
We're cutting ties. the Two of Cups reversed, it just cutting cooperation. And look what I got at the end. I got the Tower. This is irreparable damage.
I got something more positive for long term.
Oh, sure you did.
I did. But I agree with you on the short term because so maybe that tower is literally what's coming up, because I got that we were all happy. Here's the sun. We're all transparent with one another and all of that. And then I think I'm getting the Canada point of view here, the Eight of Cups, walking away. You walked away from us. You walked away from us.
Or they're walking away from our crazy.
Or they're walking away from crazy. Either way, there's a walking away here.
Yes, that's right.
And I get for the immediate future, the Star card reverse, which for me is depression and loss of hope. So there is a real heaviness here of, like you talked about a marriage, I kind of feel like, wow, we've walked away. We used to be happy. And this is really, I'm depressed, like that, like that's energetically like what.
That's exactly. And here's an interesting little tidbit. I often get the Star card for the United States.
Interesting. And it's in reversal because
right.
we're going
rejection.
Yeah. But for the long-term future, my fourth card is usually like my way going out there. I just don't know how far I'm going out, but I got the Chariot moving towards success in this particular deck. And I said, well, I want to get some clarity. What does that really mean, moving to success? What does that really look like? And they said, we have to, this is the repairman. It's hard to see in my lighting, but
yeah.
So we have a lot to repair. For a long while, we are going to be a house under construction. So it would be like our relationship is still under construction because we're moving to success. Like we're in motion toward that. We haven't achieved success. That card was moving to success. So we have a lot to repair and we're kind of rebuilding a new relationship. When I think of a house under construction, that's like a whole new structure, a whole new agreement, a whole new relationship that's different than what it was before. And then we have a new beginning with the Sprout card. So I don't feel like we are forever broken, but I feel like this is going to be a long arc of healing is what I'm getting at the end of all this. Now, this could be 50 years out. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. And that house, that idea of repairing a house. Have you ever watched, there's some great videos on YouTube when I'm desperate. There's a guy in Nova Scotia that bought a falling apart house on an island in the middle of nowhere, a young guy. And he's been...
Northwood, is that Northwood's something
show?
No. Because I was going to say he did the same thing.
He got married. Maybe his old show. He got married this year and she's pregnant and they're trying to get this thing weather tight, for the winter, the baby coming and stuff. But it's really interesting. I mean, I fantasize about living by myself on an.
Uh-oh. Helen, you're gone. And Helen's gone. She'll come back though. But yeah, let me just see what other people are saying here. Oh, I love Canada people. Oh, there she is. She's back.
What was that?
You just disappeared, Helen.
The universe doesn't want me fantasizing.
I guess I fantasized. That was like your last words. So I put up Myrna and she said, I love Canadian people are so friendly. Used to spend summers up there with my twins.
Oh, I'm curious where you spent the summers.
Yeah. If you're still here, Myrna, it's beautiful. There's certain parts of
Canada
that are gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. But yeah.
I like Anne of Green Gables. I could live in Prince Edward Island. I'd be happy.
Oh, it's pretty up there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Canada that I haven't seen. I only know the Quebec area and Nova Scotia, like that area. But yeah, I would love to go to that, like where Calgary is and like that area. What's the province? I'm
Alberta.
Is it Alberta and that area?
Alberta,
Banff,
Saskatchewan,
and Banff and all that.
Yeah,
gorgeous up there. It's gorgeous.
Well, Banff, isn't that? Is Banff British Columbia or is it Alberta?
Why was I feeling like it was more in the middle of Canada as opposed to? but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, my mental vision of geography anywhere is always really skewed. So we have where I live in the Pacific Northwest, and then we have the Rocky Mountains, and then there's the Great Void, and you get to New York City. That's my. And it's not. I don't really. Yeah, I don't really not know the geography, but when I picture the United States, that's kind of what I picture. And it's not because I look down on the center of the country. It's because I don't really know enough about it. I've never been there. It's okay. Banff is above Montana. That's Alberta, isn't it?
First, someone said Alberta, Banff,
yeah.
and Jasper, and then said you're wrong. It's above Montana, and I said like the middle of Canada. Well, I think that's what I meant.
See, that's what I'm
the
talking
middle of
about.
the country. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I envision it. Like I might have been wrong, but in my mind I was right. I was saying what you're saying. Like it's in the middle of the United States. That's
even
what
American geography. Somebody will tell me what like North Dakota, South Dakota, that whole area. I have a really skewed idea of how far it is from other places, and it's like my Irish relatives were thinking they were going to travel by car from northern Canada to Yellowstone in one day. It's just a lack of perspective, I think, is what it's really
especially
about.
When you go out west, like being that I'm in the eastern part of the United States, everything's close together. States are relatively small. But when you go out west and you're like, what? It's going to take me 3 or 4 days to cross Texas? What's that? I could go up and down the East Coast.
Yeah, that's insane.
Drive straight through, But yeah, it's crazy.
And Ireland is totally different because you can take the train across Ireland, and it's not a speedy, Japanese train. You take the train across Ireland in fewer than 4 hours. And when you're driving around, you're going from county to county to county. You're in and out of counties every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Really funny.
It's all perspective. If you're not used to it, you can get kind of lost in it for sure. So let's go on to, and I know there are a few questions that some people here let me just think about this for a minute, because I wanted to look at ICE and what's going on with it. And I feel like it kind of connects to what Brady said. Can you all remind me why nonviolence is the way? I'm losing the plot, Jesus.
I have a better question, Brady. Why me, God? I hear you. I really, it's a struggle. Such a struggle. Yeah.
And I starred that first because he did it in all caps, but also it just kind of made me think, because are we in a place, and I could be totally wrong. So I don't want everyone to say, oh, you're advocating for something horrible or violence or anything. I'm not. I'm just saying, are we at a point of no return?
We're exploring ideas. Yeah.
And then I know really spiritual people will say no, because nonviolence is always the answer, and their empires have gone down because of nonviolence. But I also know that to stop Hitler, the whole world had to come after him, and we were using bad things.
Let me remind you of that hippie annoying guy Jesus, and what he did in the temple to the money lenders. That was all about charging interest, usury, and he lost his mind.
He lost it. He just so much for nonviolence. He was like knocking everybody down. So I mean, and again, I'm just looking at human nature, because what are you going to do? And I don't want to be grim, but if someone was coming at you and your family, are you going to act with nonviolence? Are you going to pray for them? Some might. And I'm not saying you would. Some might. Some might just say, this is God's will, and whatever happens to me and my family happens to me. But I feel like there's a lot of people who have that instinct to survive, right? And you're just going to do it. Like what? Almost like you can't predict how you would react.
You can't. I am peaceful, nonviolent. I just, I'm too old to get into with. I used to be very,
Yeah.
bellicose and ready to have a big fight, a disagreement, you know. Not anymore. But I'll tell you what, the other day when that young woman was shot and Kristi Noem came on almost immediately after and characterized it with the biggest lie I've heard in a very long time, I was screaming at the TV set. And I thought to myself, I better calm down. I'm going to have a stroke, because I was calling her names, and, you know, and I thought, boy, it wouldn't take much.
That anger to rise.
Yeah.
It's like, and you can feel it. And, you know, we're only human.
Injustice is
Yes,
what does
and that injustice is, yeah, I think, what was this one? I think being stopped by ICE would shock anyone. Yeah, you would be shocked. I think some people are just like, what's happening? You know, there's that confusion. Other people are more organized. I was actually saying to Helen, it just seems like right now, we don't have the manpower for us to be, in a sense, attacked all at once. So they're using the state right now to really kind of send a message to us of fear. I would like to know, you know, what is the American response going to be to this? And we know what the American response is in Minnesota right now, because we can see it in real time. But the rest of us who aren't being attacked as viciously and with the numbers, we have time to sit and like almost make a plan. You know, like there are people like, how are we going to deal with this? So I would love to know how Americans are going to deal with this.
My husband and I had that conversation the other day. So this is something that I have always felt was coming. And I don't even know if I should say this out loud. That's how scary this is getting. I'm an immigrant. I'm a citizen, an American citizen. And you couldn't get a whole lot more white. I glow in the dark, you know?
Yeah.
So I would be theoretically less of a target, less of an obvious target. And I cannot tell you how many people have tried to assuage my fears because I'm very afraid. You know, we run through the scenarios. What do we do if ICE comes to the door? Can you believe we're having these conversations? And I have no criminal record, nothing. But when you hear the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security saying, having an argument on the floor of, I don't know if it was the Senate or if it was a committee or whatever, it was Dan Goldman was quizzing her and asking her, if you're a refugee seeking asylum and you come here, the law is you claim asylum, they get the paperwork started. That's all you have to do. You're now here legally until your request makes it through the courts. Is that legal? Is that true? She wouldn't answer it. She went off on Biden had too many of them lined up and so many cases backed up in the courts, and just, they don't want to obey the rule of law. They don't want to obey the law. And so it doesn't matter whether you're legal or non-legal, criminal or not a criminal. And to a larger extent, as we're seeing now, more and more every day, your demographic appearance doesn't really matter either.
It doesn't matter.
It's sadism, it's psychopathy, it's misogyny, it's racism, and they now have an outlet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And who was it? There's a couple of comments there I thought were pretty relevant. Oh, it's Innocent Potato again. Hey, don't open the door. Hold the line. Where's your warrant? That could be your first line of safety, for real. And then what was this? Shanti, the goddess, is it Kali? Is that how you say it?
Kali,
the
yeah.
Kali was created by all the gods and goddesses coming together to kill the evil demon that was running around destroying the world. She won in the end. We need to come together too. Wasn't she a goddess of death and destruction too? Or
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. But we've seen that in history as well. So it's a metaphor for what humans have experienced in real time. So let's just take a look.
I've been very disappointed by people's reactions, because I can't tell you, countless people, I'll have this conversation with, you know, and they'll say, don't worry, nobody's going to bother an old white lady. And my first reaction is, oh my God, what about all the other people? It's not about me, you know?
what just happened to that woman and the people of Minnesota is not okay. None of it is okay. And if we say that, well, it's not me, well, it will be you next.
Well, let's go. What about George Floyd?
Yeah.
We watched that happen in real time. And where, there was a certain degree of indignation more than usual, but not long enough lasting.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing with the poem is first they came for the communists, but I wasn't a communist, so I did nothing. And then they came for the socialists, and and then they came for me.
And then they came for me, and there was no one left, to stand up for me or whatever.
So if all you've got is pragmatism and self-protection, at least dive into that and fight for everybody else.
Exactly.
What are we looking at? I'm just shuffling cards.
The American people's reaction in the future, because obviously this is going to expand. We're not going to stop. So how are the American people going to deal with it, basically? I feel like, again, I kind of know what's happening in the beginning, but I don't know what's happening at the end. So I'm just getting some clarifiers. How are they reacting?
Well, this is kind of promising, I guess. Don't want to commit to anything too optimistic.
Yeah. You want me to go first? Because I feel like, did you use the tarot? I didn't use the tarot, so I thought maybe I could go first.
Yeah, go. I have the tarot and a few Lenormands.
Okay, so yours will be nice and specific, because what I'm getting is replace and exchange at a future time. So I think the American people, this could be the midterms or like organizing to vote on these elections, how people are resigning or whatever. Or they might even be talking more seriously or putting pressure on people to maybe even getting rid of the people in charge. Weren't they even talking about impeaching Noam?
Well, there's talk.
There's talk, but I think that's their first line of defense, or people are organizing for that first. Then I get devotees and the fight and the night, which the night to me is striking. It's hard to see, but I'm almost, yes, it means people could fight as a reaction, but I'm also getting battles. I'm getting ice. I'm getting they're not the only ones fighting, that the devoted ones are fighting. That's ice. The devoted ones.
Well, I always think of the when it comes to something like battle, I always think of the Knight of, is it the Knight of Swords you have?
Well, it was just the deck of characters, so it's just the Knight card.
Like
so,
Crusaders, and I think about the right-wing Christian evangelicals.
The ones and people, to me, that's the other side. They're going to keep coming. In other words, it doesn't matter if the American people are trying to get the people out of office to do something. I feel like they're still coming. So there are going to be some things that really this is vomit. It's hard to see in my lighting, but vomit that really make us sit. And it has to do with the innocent. Okay. So something is going to happen that's maybe worse than even what we're seeing now. And it's spreading and mutating. Okay. So it's getting out of control a little bit, but I was like, okay, but how does this end? Is that how it ends? But then they gave me the jail card. So I feel like, does this end? Fill me in, Helen, because does this end with the American people being locked up? Or
you need a clarifier for that jail card.
I know. Or is this ending with, okay, it's spreading, whatever, and now we're going to just put these MFers in jail?
Well, you know what I think? I hate to even talk about it because people get so mad at me, but I felt this coming for a very long time. There's an inevitable outcome to it. Everything in life is cyclical. Existence is cyclical. It will get better eventually. But we're worried about what's going to happen while we're still alive here.
Right.
And,
Exactly. Exactly. So what did your card say?
Well, I got death. Just starting right out of the gate.
Let's just put it out there, Helen.
It's a paradigm shift. How many times have you heard people say recently, this is not my America. I never thought I would see this in America. It's a complete lack of compassion, the King of Cups reversed. And there's this sense of, what's the word I want? Like a foolish pilgrim. They're starting out with this, there's a word, plan, project. I don't know quite how to label it, but I look at this as the young men who are involved in this brutalizing. They feel like they're on some sort of a crusade, a campaign, that they're doing something good, but it's coming from a place of pathology. All of it is coming from a place of pathology, which is what I get here for the Page of Cups. They think that this is something good. They're feeling like they're righteous, but it stinks. And I get suffering, but I get strength. And I think this is the most promising of the cards I get, because what it's saying is that working together, we can tame that
tame
feral kind of, yeah. But let me show you the Lenormand cards I got, because they really will make you happy. They'll make you happy. Okay. So I get the 6, which is of clouds, and it's about confusion and not clear-headedness and chaos. Okay, so that's our situation. And then we get the dog, which is a symbol of faithfulness and loyalty. And I think this is going to stir up feelings that a lot of good people have about what they maybe misguided, but still believe the country was about, and maybe it will be an opportunity. That's what this means. This is like a lucky opportunity, but no matter what, it's our karmic destiny.
It's our destiny. And you know what, you gave me another way to read that devoted card, devoted next to the fighter. Is it the things that we were devoted to, our principles and our values that rise us to fight? Is that what's spreading and mutating? Because we're sick. It makes us sick of the innocent that, have been hurt in all of this. And we get the jail card. So maybe we're going to bring some people to justice at the end.
Well, this is it's bringing to the surface a debate that's been going on in this country since the beginning of white people being here. And the person who's the strongest, who has historically been the strongest defender of the Constitution as an instrument of equality was Frederick Douglass. Against all the white people, he was the one who would say, no. They may not have said women and slaves and all, black people, but they intended for it to mean everybody. And I find myself arguing in my head with Frederick Douglass all the time, how naive, because I think we're talking about a lot of rich white men who were pretty satisfied with what they had. They had the luxury and the time and the education to philosophize and pontificate. But when it came right down to it, if and when they freed their slaves, it was on their deathbed.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think that they're in reading about that revolutionary period, there may have been a few of our so-called founding fathers or thinkers of that time that did want to address the slavery issue when they wrote the Constitution. However,
Madison,
but then they literally wrote things with intention in a way to satisfy, getting the Southern states to ratify.
Compromise. Yeah.
So, you're right. The words were chosen on purpose with a certain intention. And even though we can't say all of them, because there were a few that really were more abolitionists and, they really they didn't own slaves, but many did. And they were not going to, like you said, they weren't going to let go of that.
Well, they set them free after they were dead, It's kind of like the Emperor Constantine becoming a Christian on his deathbed. Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case. I guess you could baptize me just in case.
That'll be okay. I'm covered.
I know. Isn't he lucky he didn't die in a highway crash or something? He had time to think about it.
I just saw this comment right here. I'm in Kansas City, and today they reported 70 ICE cars all parked in the outskirts of the city.
Oh.
Now we're wondering if we're the next. Oh my God. I have a relative, a very close relative who lives
in Kansas City.
Multiple relatives that live in Kansas City, the Kansas side, Kansas City, Kansas. Is this Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but oh God, I hope not. I got to call.
If it's Missouri, doesn't Missouri have like a higher population of Black people?
Oh,
I see. I don't know.
They said Missouri. Okay. The relatives that I have are in Kansas City, Kansas, but still, it's the same area. I mean, any city has. I mean, I know where Kansas City, Kansas has a very diverse population in the city, not in the outskirts. You know, it's actually more liberal in the city. But then
maybe that's the problem.
You know, the farm area, whether they go out there, then it's, you know, it's a whole different ballgame.
This is the modern day Gestapo. It's the establishment of a police state. And I don't think that that's hyperbole. I think it's happening and we have to name it. It's all one big city, really. Yeah.
I think it's all connected. You're right. Oh, what was this one? Oh, about Frederick Douglass. Oh, it's Innocent Potato again. You're writing the best stuff. Maryland. Okay. And Harriet Tubman were both slaves here in Maryland on the Eastern Shore.
Wes Moore. Yeah. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Graduate of Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, Frederick Douglass is a very interesting man. Very interesting. You know, Deborah Lupien, you know, she does we actually talked to Frederick Douglass.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And just a little preview. Last night we recorded a very long conversation with Martin Luther King for Martin Luther King's birthday.
Oh, you guys watch that. That's going to be amazing. I'm definitely going to watch that. I would love to hear what he has to say for sure.
Well, some people don't really like us to do that because they feel like these people are icons and it's disrespectful, you know, to ask them human questions like, well, what about that girlfriend? You know, that kind of stuff. Because I feel like people are people and I'll ask anybody anything. I don't care if you're Gandhi. I want to know, hey, come on, you had meatballs.
Oh, come on, Gandhi. Spill the tea.
Exactly. So there are really no questions that I won't ask. And I don't find it's disrespectful because, and this is what Deborah reminded me of last night, they're exercising free will in the same way that we can exercise free will. They don't have to answer anything they don't want to, and they don't. We've been told, I'm not telling you that, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're in our last couple minutes, unfortunately.
Oh, shoot, that flew by.
Believe it? Like we covered like Greenland, Canada, ice and response and some other things that we talked about. We didn't even get close to some of the other topics and to some of the other questions that I have starred here. I will say there are a few questions here about Epps files and Sasha Riley. I just wanted to say that I wanted to stay away from that topic right now. We had a talk about it before the show started. There's just some things that I need to process from some of that information, find out what's true, what's not true. But also, I feel like it's such sensationalized stuff right now. It's easy to get dinged on YouTube right now on that particular. They always like really ding you on the hot topics. So we're just gonna just take a break from that just at the moment. So we thought
I think it's really important that YouTube viewers understand that there's an enormous amount of censorship going on.
Major.
And you'll notice it when people are talking and winking and giving you first letters and making allusions to words and topics. There's a host of topics that are not even safe to say the words.
You can't even say it.
Because I spent 12 months on probation. 3 months here, 3 months there, for just completely innocent reasons. I'm not inflammatory. I'm not like, espousing conspiracy theories.
Yeah. And you know, I want to be able to continue doing videos. So I'm just overly cautious right now. But there are ways we can discuss things. We just have to be a little careful. So I'm just going to wait with those topics. I didn't want people to think I was, ignoring them or ignoring the issue, or that I don't care about diving into the issue. I just think there's sometimes we have to be strategic in when we discuss that and how we discuss it. So it's just something I'm thinking about right now. But that said, you're my guest, Helen, and I was hoping we could come up with a final question, maybe like something that is on your mind since you're my guest tonight. Can you think of something we can end with, like a big question that you would like to look into?
Yeah, there's a topic that it's something that people talk about a lot that kind of rubs me the wrong way, and I think we should ask the cards. There's like the end watch, that's one of those words we can't use, the counting the countdown for when this guy,
this certain person.
Right. And I feel like that doesn't matter. And I don't mean it that it is of no consequence. What I mean is it's not really going to change too many things because there are forces working in the background. They're working in tandem, parallel, and they're going to come into conflict with each other. I think we should ask the cards what happens when inevitably, because nobody is eternal. So when that inevitable moment comes, then what?
Then what? Okay, let's do that. We'll get I know we'll just get a big picture general answer.
Oh, it'll be, yeah, I'm sure it'll be all general.
And see what happens. What's the energy? And
unless the cards spell out the last name, and I'll tell you later.
All right, let's take a look.
Oh, God.
I think you can clarify it on this one.
Yeah. There's nothing extremely revelatory here. There's a hint. Let's see what these are.
Oh, that's interesting. All right. I think I got an answer. You want me to go?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I don't know about is this particular card, the Empress Reversed, is my Russia card.
Yeah.
And it is Russia in this spread. And you'll understand why as I continue the story. And I did get intimidation tactics. So I do feel like Russia is going down. I don't think Russia's the one intimidating here because Russia's in reversal. It makes me wonder who's leaving first, and I'm not sure with this. Maybe this person is still here and maybe he goes second. I'm not really sure about that, but I feel like we're coming at that area of the world with intimidation. And the reason I say that is because I've got the World card and a leadership battle. And there seems to be a battle for a leadership, not just in the US, like a leadership battle for who's going to be the leader of the United States, but also who's going to be the leader of the free world. There is some sense here that there is a power vacuum, is what I'm feeling. And there's a lot of intimidation. And it's like, maybe China is even involved with this, right? So there's like this, okay, he's gone. It's like the sharks come in, and are trying to, there's a battle for power, both internally and outside.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that there's going to be foreign influence. And there's already a huge battle going on behind the scenes for power right now.
And then I'm getting something that I feel is really like us, because this is the Six of Wands. But the Six of Wands and the triumph and success is reversed. So we're not successful in whatever, in the aftermath, we are not, we're down and out. Okay.
Weekend, yeah.
Yeah, we're really weakened. And this is also a card for me in reversal for domestic issues, which I think fits this, because even though usually this is in a personal reading, like someone might have some things going on at home, this could be in a nation. Like we have to really focus on some things at home. And there are some people who are trying to work solutions. And what are those things that we have to immediately attend to? Well, I am getting the Queen of Pentacles here. You know, there's financial security here, security here, like our national security with the Queen of Pentacles. And I just think when I think of this as a nurturing card in the upright, it's like, okay, food and making sure people have the basics. And so this makes me feel like we have some serious issues, financial issues, social issues. And someone is going to be really working that to gain approval, to gain a few notches on his or her belt to become the new leader in this power vacuum. So it's kind of like, okay, I'll fix the supply chain issue. I'll do this. I'll make sure you have a job or something. And they're doing that to get approval, to get power. So that's kind of what I'm getting in the general sense.
I agree with you. I'm thinking about what you said. I agree with you. I think, well, I know that there's a lot of, read American Compromise by Craig Unger. I push that book constantly because it's got a great historical background, modern historical background into what's going on today. There's so much going on behind the scenes that has been going on since, I throw a number out, the 50s, probably earlier. And that's what this card would be. They've been working on this for a very long time. Who's coming next is not going to be happenstance. There's a lot of negotiating already going on behind the scenes. They're already in the middle of the battle. They're evaluating the field. They're thinking about it. It's going to be a gigantic paradigm shift. Big paradigm shift. And a choice. You know, they're going to be weighing, what do we want? Do we want a theocracy or do we want a technocracy? And that's kind of what the battle is. And the people are apathetic. American people are apathetic. I'm so tired of hearing people say politics is not my thing. My own kids say that to me all the time. I don't care about politics, Mom. And then the start of something new, some kind of a new action, but devoid of compassion. And you'll see in a second, I drew a few clarifiers, but something else first. So I get maybe a rewriting of the Constitution.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody is going to be in the forefront who cannot be trusted. But this is our karmic destiny. This is the second time I've gotten this card today. It's our karmic destiny to kind of usher in this paradigm shift in human consciousness.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. So then I drew just a couple of more for the fun of it because I like this deck of cards. I like these Vincent van Gogh cards. And you're going to die when you see what I got. Once again, I got death. I never get.
I mean, I'm getting the death card all the time tonight. What the
paradigm shift. We're being hit over the head and being told, wake up. This is a shift, a big change in consciousness. Time to look within. And then the Wheel of Fortune, you know, this is the cycle starts over again and we begin again and try to maybe do something right this next.
The second time. The third
time.
This
is, oh my God. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Helen. And I just want to say thank you to the people in the chat. We got so many, and I have to give a heads up to Innocent Potato because for some reason I just kept choosing. I'd see a comment and I'd be like, wait, it's Innocent Potato.
Really appreciate people's input.
Yeah. and
Yeah.
just really good comments here. I'm sorry I couldn't, address everything that was coming through, but I love the fact that you're talking about these things on the side. And it's always a pleasure having you on my show. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're talking to me? I thought you were talking to the chat.
I was talking to them and now I'm talking to you.
I'm so confused. The chat thing always confuses me. It's like my attention span or something. I can't.
I know. I looked at the chat and I went right to you.
So much to focus on. Well,
Yeah.
I always love coming on. In fact, I think that you and I should save those questions and address them soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Now I just have to get my outro and I'm like, wait a minute, where is my outro? I don't know.
See, this is the mistake of getting too fancy.
Yeah, it's like
I just say bye.
So I'll just pick a random song. I have no idea what's happening. Like, what song is that?
I don't hear anything.
Oh, you don't hear it? You'll hear it on the tape. All right, everybody.
Slongathor.
Bye.